Hey, Brenna. Can you believe it's like 50-something degrees
No,
outside?
I feel like we're going back to fall.
Yeah. My roses have better survived. I'm trying them again. Morning.
Hi, Judge.
Hi.
Hey, Brandon.
Good morning.
Any more updates on Jim?
Yes. I mean, he's still doing the same, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like he's like lucid and
Yes.
I know. Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day outside.
It is.
You know,
Swimming a little bit.
yeah, but you know, my mom always says April showers bring May flowers, so we should have some beautiful flowers come May.
So. Maybe go from there, but that's-
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, it's good to have anything else.
It'll be spent right there on the show and like. It's okay. Yes, that's right. I do see. I pushed it. Hey, how are you? Yeah, cases, one of them was them.
Okay, everyone, we're gonna call the docket. All right, everyone, good morning. As some of you probably have heard, we had a medical emergency yesterday. So this is one of the new rules that I'm going to start to help us get help to anyone if they need it. If you are in the office by yourself, if you could do me a favor and put in the chat box, and you can address it to me personally, your location, your address, so that we'll know if something goes wrong, we'll be able to send people to the appropriate place. Because yesterday we had to Google to find someone's address so that they could get the help they needed. So I expect that all the defense attorneys, you know where your client is located. So this is for defense attorneys, because that was a very stressful time yesterday, not knowing where someone was located, but seeing them in distress on the screen. So make sure if you are at your office by yourself, send me in the chat box your location. So if anything happens, we'll know where to send EMS, but hopefully, and we all hope nothing will go wrong. So today is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It's storming outside and it's also 58 degrees. Who knows why that is happening? It's 58 degrees outside, but it's 100 degrees in the courtroom and I have to wear a robe, but it's going to be a beautiful Tuesday. Some of you are all on the trial docket. There's a jury in the hallway and we will be having a trial today. Thank you, Kelly, for letting me know. All right, these are the rules of the 187 District Court. There are some of you who are in the courtroom. There are some of you who are on the Zoom screen. Wherever you may be, you are in a courtroom. You should behave appropriately. If you do not behave appropriately and you're on this Zoom screen, what will happen is you're going to be required to appear in court and your Zoom privileges will be revoked permanently. So that means there's to be no cooking of food, no doing of chores. If you are at work, you need to let your employer know that you are in court and you're going to have to take your lunch break early. To all attorneys, if you have a plea bargain agreement, no matter how small you think that agreement is, it'll be needed to be placed in the chat box to the court coordinator. She'll be listed as Ferguson coordinator. You may see the lights flashing in the 187th. No, we do not have a disco ball. There's something wrong with the lights. So hopefully the powers that be will fix the issues in the 187th, which is wet carpet, which causes mold, flashing lights, and no AC when we need it and no heat when we need it. So those are the issues of the 187th, but we're still going to have a good day today. The attorneys who are on the screen, I'm going to call your name. To all the defendants who are on Zoom screen, your name will not be called, your attorney's name will be called. So if you do not hear your attorney's name, it's because they are Zooming in another courtroom or they had to appear in person in another courtroom. Be patient, your attorney will show up. You will get a chance to see your attorney. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I do, it's going to invite everyone to go to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. To all the defendants and those who are accused who are on Zoom, your attorney is probably going to want to speak to a prosecutor before they speak to you. So be patient. Everyone put some patience in your pocket. It'll be a good day. As you can tell by the traffic, people are running late because it's raining outside. So on the Zoom screen, Kelly McGinnis, Keith Engelke, Linda Corley, Natasha Torres, William Davidson, Charles May, Sergio Ibarra, Derek Edmonds, Jesse Sanchez, Albert Chares. Is there any defense attorney on the Zoom screen that I have not called? All right, and then I'm going to call everyone in the courtroom. All right, Ernest Tiller. Ernest Tiller. Alexander Williams. Adrian Garcia. Thank you. Yes. I'm sorry, what is your name? All right, everyone, when I call your name, if you're in the courtroom, you need to stand and let me know you're here. Blake Wilburn. Thank you. Desiree De La Fuente. Thank you, good morning. Tish Lumpkin Fortenberry. Trish Lumpkin Fortenberry. Juan Pablo Aveles. Roy Ferguson. Monique Kirby.
Council President John, she is currently indisposed, if I may approach.
Just give me a moment. I'll let you approach after docket. Christopher Rodriguez. Dennis Trejo. Dennis Trejo. Dimitri Lavallee. Dimitri Lavallee. Manuel Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Thank you. D'Angelo Robinson. D'Angelo Robertson.
Judge, that's my client. He should be on by Zoom. Maybe he's in the waiting room.
No, there's no one in the waiting room.
I'll reach out to him. He's on leg monitor at full house arrest.
All right, thank you. Kayla White. Kayla White.
Your Honor, she's on the Zoom and counsel is present. We just got on that case, I believe, yesterday.
Okay. Amanda Aranda. Amanda Aranda.
I'm here. Present.
Judge, I'm present for her. We've applied for PTD and
All
haven't heard whether accepted or not.
Just give me a moment. Cameron Sell. Cameron Sell. Kayla Connor. Kayla Connor.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Kayla White.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Present with counsel, Judge.
Keith Evans. Keith Evans. Ms. McGinnis, I believe that's with Charles White.
Yes, it is, Judge. I was trying to see if I saw him on the screen.
All right.
I'm present.
Oh, there he is. There he is, Judge.
All right, thank you. Florencio Lasoya.
I'm here.
Thank you. Julian Barra.
I'm here.
Thank you. Sean Foster. Sean Foster.
That's mine too, Judge. I just don't see him on the screen yet.
Alfredo Alderete. Alfredo Alderete. Ralph Reyes. Ralph Reyes. Albino. Ralph Reyes.
Alfredo Alderete.
Judge, that's my client. This is Linda Corley, and he apparently we're having some trouble with him getting logged in, but my office is calling him now.
Okay. Albino Flores. Albino Flores.
Judge, this is Albert Chidas. I just want to let the court know that D'Angelo Robinson is on.
All right, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Manuel Galvan.
President,
Eleanor Arzola.
Judge, I'm present for her. She's in custody.
Paul Ramirez. Jose Romo.
Here.
All right, thank you. All right, is there anyone's name that I did not call that's in the courtroom? Yes, what is your name?
John Garcia, Your Honor. James Breda.
Just one moment. Who's your attorney, Tristan Rodriguez? And Travion McCullough? Oh, Ravian. Who's your attorney?
I think it's Priscilla Torres.
All right, just have a seat. We will get with you. And Mr. Ferguson, I see you on the Zoom screen.
Thank you.
All right, to all the attorneys who are on Zoom, it would help the court move you to your breakout rooms quickly if you would add to your name the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. Everyone, I'm going to ask that you be patient because I am still trying to keep the number of persons in the courtroom low. As people are aware, COVID has upticked. So those who are not high on the list for jury trials, but still on the jury trial list, we're going to have you by Zoom. And so I'm going to start assigning you to breakout rooms. Kelly McGinnis, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
Keith Engelkey, I'm going to send you to number 4. Linda Corley, I'm going to send you to number 5.
And Judge, before we do that, I have a client, Alfredo Alderete, we've submitted for PTD, and I was hoping, we're just waiting to hear. I was hoping we could release him.
Just give me a moment.
Okay.
Bill Davidson, who do you have?
Hello, Your Honor.
Yes, who is your client?
My client is Pacina Rodriguez, George Pacina Rodriguez,
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Criminal Trial Division.
I'm going to send you to number 7.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Everyone else, make sure your audio is off, please. Charles May, who do you have?
Your Honor, I have a Mr. Thomas Manning, CTD.
All right, thank you for changing your name, Charles.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to send you to number 8. Sergio Ibarra.
Yes, Your Honor, I have Kayla White, Family Violence.
All right, I'm going to send you to 9. Thank you for changing your name.
Thank you, Judge.
Derek Edmonds, you changed your name. I'm going to send you to number 10.
Thank you, Judge.
Jesse Sanchez.
Yes, Judge.
Oh, thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to 11.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Albert Charas.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I need to know whether your client is Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence.
CTD, Your Honor.
All right, Albert, I'm going to send you to number 12. David Cuellar. I'm going to
Yes,
send
Your
you
Honor.
to 13. That's a lucky breakout room.
That certainly is. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Is there anyone, any attorney who's on the Zoom screen who has not been assigned? All right, everyone, be patient. The prosecutors are in the courtroom conferring as well, and they'll be conferring with you on the Zoom. So just be patient. And to all the inmates, you are not allowed to use the chat box or the internet.
Judge, may I reapproach?
Yes. Just one moment. All right, so who is your client that you say is
Alfredo Alderete, 2022 CR 1616 is one of his cases. Let's see, I believe.
all right, just 1 second. Okay, what is happening with Mr. Alderete?
Judge, we have submitted a PTD application.
All right, do you know if it's been accepted?
No, I don't know if it's been accepted yet, but it's just been recently submitted. Let me see.
All right, Ms. Fergus, can you check on that, please? All right, just give us a moment, okay?
Thank you, Judge. Yeah, it was submitted on March 28th, Judge.
All right, thank you.
My conversations with Ron. I know, but you should. It's fun. Right.
Hi, you needed to approach?
Yes, Judge, if I may approach.
Yes.
I represent Monique Kirby. She just had a baby last weekend. Actually came, it was due today. But her baby came in on late Friday night. And Monique is convalescing at home with her baby. They did have to widen things up, so she has some stitches in.
All right, just give me 1 second. On Mr. Alderetti.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's going to be reset for March 28th. So he's been accepted. Mr. Alderetti, we'll see you back on March
28th? That's going to be a long time.
Ms. Ferguson. Yes. It's May, just 1 second, let me see, May 31st.
May 31st. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much. May Mr. Alderetti be excused?
Yes, he's excused.
Okay, thank you,
Your Honor.
Judge.
You're
You can
welcome.
log out.
Thank you.
Judge, if you would like to see the discharge paper.
Just 1 second. So Ms. Corley, then I will send you to breakout room number 5 for your other case.
I was talking to Louisiana people yesterday.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
I had a client who is incarcerated in Louisiana, and as part of his incarceration, he's at the Sanctuary Genesis program.
Okay.
Rehab program ordered by the court there. And so I was talking to people in Louisiana, and when I made the joke with my client that I asked him if he was a U.S. citizen, he said yes. And I said, where were you born? And he said, Texas. And I said, oh, then you're better than a U.S. citizen. You're a Texan. That was met with some derision. Not by him, but by the personnel that were around.
So this case is CTD.
Yeah, this is a CTD, Judge. It's a lottery case.
There are multiple things.
All right, can I see a criminal trial division prosecutor just briefly?
Yeah, I informed Brittany as well, too.
All right, this client is not here.
Okay.
She gave birth to a child yesterday.
Okay.
And so do you all have any objections to it being reset?
I have no objection, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll give it 30 days. And see
30
where we're
days?
at. Yes.
Okay.
I know they usually release people from the hospital the next day, but we'll give it 30 days.
She was released the next day, yes, and but she is with her baby. But she told me, I said, well, I don't know. I'm gonna
You
do.
never had a baby.
I'm gonna do a Gone with the Wind. I don't know nothing about birth and no
Yeah,
babies.
you never had a baby. Okay, I
Yeah.
understand.
Been around births. My wife and I have 2 children, so been there.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset, please, on Monique Kirby? And if you could step back a little bit.
Oh.
And what happened to my shield? Like I had a shield right here.
I'm sure it won't be back.
It was over there. The only one. See, what we do is like, we put this thing here.
Yeah, we do the rope. Because people are getting too close.
Yes, and you like sit back. Further back.
All right, so we're gonna come back on May 31st.
May 31st.
Yes, and she'll need to be in person, and that'll be for jury trial.
Jury trial on May 31st.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, good. All right.
Sure. Is Jacqueline here? Our intern?
She is. She's.
Hi, come on up. Yes, Mr.
On
Cox.
Keeler, just, I have, he's, for some reason, he thought it was Zoom. She's waiting to give him a link, but he's on his way. I called him and told him that it was in person. So I just want to let you know it wasn't his fault, and just didn't give him. She thought it was going to be a Zoom, okay? But he'll be here in a few minutes. And I got to go down to 226. I'm in charge, but I think we're going to clear it out. We did the paperwork, but I'll be back.
All right, thank you, Mr. Cox.
I'm in 227.
All right, thank you. Roland Garcia. Mr. Garcia, who do you have?
Judge, can you make me a co-host, please?
Who's speaking?
Joe Ray.
All right, thank you, Joe Ray.
Thanks, Judge.
Judge, this is Jerry Kagan. I'm using the courthouse computer and it says Roland Garcia.
Yes, Mr. Kagan, who do you have?
I have Valentin Ramses.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial division.
I'll send you to breakout room number 14.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, counsel.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. I'm here on Ms. De La Fuentes, Judge. We're close to a PTD agreement, but there are some matters that, some fine points that we need to resolve. We could request a reset.
I'm sorry, who is it?
Desiree De La Fuente.
Page 10.
Which page?
Page 10.
All right, thank you. No, I mean, if there's going to be a PTD, it needs to be done today.
Needs to be done today, Judge?
Yes. Or either it's going to trial. Thank you. Yes.
I'm here on Joshua Hamilton. I didn't hear him be called on docket. He's in custody right now.
Oh, I didn't call anyone who was in custody because they're in custody. Do you need to speak with him?
I do, and we're asking for a reset this morning. We just learned that he's picked up 3 new charges, felonies. So they're looking into it right now to find out what's going on. Okay.
Yeah, this will be going to trial. It's got to be dismissed.
I'm sorry.
This will be going to trial.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Judge, I forgot to ask if I may approach.
Yes,
I forgot to ask, might be excused.
yes, you may be
Okay.
excused.
All right.
Morning. I'm here on Joseph Sanchez Contreras, Your Honor. We're
Yes.
ready this morning.
I'm sorry, what's the name?
Joseph Sanchez Contreras.
All right, so you're in the trial lineup. Just wait. We're just waiting for another jury to come in. Thank you.
Hi, Judge, how you doing?
Great. Deputy Lawrence, do you have these, Post-it notes? Yeah, I do. Thank you.
I was, but then my therapy wasn't working. So I had to restart my computer.
There you go. Thank you. You can approach because I know you're very talented
Yes.
since you have children.
Yes, I am.
Everyone else is just living their best life.
Marco Contreras.
Yes.
Can I be excused to go to the 175th? I have a 10 o'clock, just to announce that I.
That you're in trial here?
Trial here.
Yes, you can go announce that you're in
Well,
trial here.
I would say I have nowhere else to be, but the truth is, this is the first person. So I'll wait for you to bring me up whatever that is. Thank you.
Judge,
Yes,
can you, I had to log off my computer. Can you admit me and make me a co-host, please?
yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mark, sorry, Judge. This is Robert Ariano, who's an associate with our office.
Hello.
Judge,
First time in Dark County, maybe?
first time.
Comes from
welcome to
Travis
Dark
County
County.
DA's office.
Thank you, Judge.
You missed Fiesta.
I did, but maybe next year.
Okay. Hey, is that a promise?
Promise.
Okay.
Speaking of, I saw you at one of the Fiesta events, the, what is the brunch that they have? Where they have the modeling of the clothes and stuff.
Oh, okay, yes.
I was there.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, so yes, on Mr. Hamilton, we do have a motion for continuance. I don't know if you want to rule on it.
Sure.
We had a motion to sub that was recently filed because Dan Rodriguez was the lead attorney on it, and he has since gone to Mr. Brown's office. So we can present that. The state's not opposed to our motion, but of course, we leave it in the court's discretion. It is our first motion for continuance in this matter. And then in addition, we just learned this morning that he's being held on 3 new charges as well. So.
Okay. All right. So if everyone can make sure you keep the hallway clear. My understanding, we have a medical emergency, so EMS should be coming in through this way. Okay. So if you just give us a moment so we can discover who the medical emergency is with. We do need Sage in the courtroom. So it's one of the inmates, so we'll find out which inmate it is and what's going on.
Okay, Judge.
Yeah, right now.
So just give us a moment and everyone to just make sure they keep the alleyway clear. No, we do not. All right, Ms. McGinnis.
Hi, Judge. I was conferring with Joe Ray on 2 of our 5 cases. Charles is also in there. He's going to take over because I have to take my daughter to a doctor's appointment. But Keith Evans and Florencia Lasoya, they're co-defendants. We're asking for another setting. There is some missing discovery. We're looking for some body camera videos, and he's going to look into that for us.
All right, does he have an idea when he will have this matter resolved?
I don't know. He just sent an email, I think, to that division asking for any and all body cameras. So I don't know how long that would take for someone to respond, but.
And you say Florencio Lasoya?
Yes, and it's 2022 CR 1395 A and B.
And on each of these, you say it's a body camera issue?
Yes, that's correct, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Lasoya and Evans, can you give me a 30-day reset for discovery, please? All right, we're going to come back on May 23rd.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And Mr. Lasoya and Mr. Evans, you're both excused.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Charles will take my place, so.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
All right, but I do have your address now.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'm glad. All right, bye, Judge.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I can hang up.
Yes, you're both excused.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Page 13, Judge.
Yeah, thank you. You knew what I was looking for. Mr. Alexander?
I apologize, Judge.
Oh, I understand. It's the rain, so it's slowing everything down.
Well, first it was my children slowing it down, and then I finally get out the road, like right around 410, 910, accident on the left side of the highway, 100 yards later, one on the right hand side. I'm like, seriously?
I hear you.
Yeah. It's a started out with $500 fine, $250 fine. I changed it to $250 donation. Certain process.
Yeah, just give me a moment, please.
Yes. So yeah, are y'all gonna go on that?
Yeah, okay.
226?
Yeah, okay. 227.
227. Sorry.
Yeah, 226.
227. Xavier Hart.
Yeah, we're going.
See y'all sitting over here. Does anyone want to say
My
anything?
my case, I think I talked to you. Yeah.
Okay, you know, every time I think about you, so stupid thing, it's probably, it's a little bit of complicated. On this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I don't remember. Yeah.
Sounds serious. Let me look in a second. I mean, obviously, she's always.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like every day.
Right, yeah.
So this is pretty unusual for this to happen constantly, but. Oh, yes.
Judge, I'm gonna have to get moves after.
I know,
this
I
corner if
like
this
we
is gonna
need to go
continue.
Well, you know what?
I refuse to be next.
Well, I will tell you, I do think, knock on wood, if I'm here next cycle, we will change courtrooms. Maybe we need to move courtrooms. So, hopefully that will happen. You know what, Brenda? No, you know why it happened? Because Andrews Campion started wearing a ponytail. Everything was fine. Andrews, things were fine in this court, but then once you brought in the ponytail, it just went haywire.
Oh, is it my fault? I believe
It's your fault.
To be fair, I'm just trying to bring back some style to this.
Yeah. But my mom loved your curls.
The curls are still there, Your Honor. I can pull this out and just do an herbal essence commercial.
There you go. Oh my gosh, somebody who knows about herbal essence. I remember growing up, it was Willow Blossom.
It's not nice to talk about hair in front of a bald man.
Hey, you still have the sides.
I clearly get my hair from my father, and everybody knows Charles Campion's hair.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is that the family pony?
It's the family ponytail.
Oh, yeah.
And Johnny.
Your Honor, we came up with an agreement. We're gonna go ahead and take the PDD on Desiree down front.
All right, Ms. Ferguson and attorneys, I see you on screen. We just have a matter here in the courtroom. But to attorneys on the screen, I'm going to call you up in just a second. Ms. Ferguson on Del Fuente, could I have a date for PTD update, please? And you'll need to apply today.
Yes, Judge. We expect the email to come from Beatrice.
All right, we're going to come back on May 23rd. Where's your client? Ms. Del Fuente. We're going to be back on May 23rd. You need to make sure that the PTD information is filled out. If it's not, you're going to be going to trial. Do you understand? So there's no excuses. That needs to be filled out today. All right. We'll see you back on May 23rd.
Yes, may myself and my client be excused, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, good. So we can get this. That's what I was. It takes about 5. Excuse me.
Brenda, do you see that? There she is. All right. All right, Brian RL, who do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Mr. Albino Flores on the docket today, and I've been conferring with Ms. Sparks.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 15.
Yes, ma'am.
Sergio Ibarra.
May I take this
Yes, Your
one?
Honor. I'm here today for Kayla White. It's a family violence case. I did confer with Michael. We just did our notice of appearance yesterday. Don't have all the discovery quite yet, but it has been uploaded. So just asking for time for that.
It's not a state joke.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 1-month reset on Ms. White? Have you received an offer from the state?
Not yet, Judge. We'll review and we will confer hopefully before the next setting.
All right, so make sure you confer off docket to get a offer, please.
Yes, ma'am. I will.
All right, we're going to come back on May 23rd.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you file a notice of retained counsel?
We did, Judge. It looks like we did one on both cases. It appears one has been accepted. However, I don't know if the other one has been accepted
All right,
yet.
thank you. We'll see you back on May 23rd. You and your client are excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Page 12, Judge.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, we should go. Yeah, so you can.
Okay. Page 11. I'm not sure. This is finance. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, it's like, let's just like the names. No, it's not.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's of course.
Martin Garrett? No, you said Martin. Oh, that's not Martin. It's Martin. I thought it was Johnny.
Okay,
Did you say with the K?
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
On Mr. Marlon Cintron, case number 2021 CR 9181. I just got on the case, Your Honor. I got a new offer. There's a little bit of confusion on some, not discovery, but issues.
Who's your client?
Marlon Cintron, Cintron. How's your mom, by the way?
Oh, she's doing great.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's up for jury trial.
That's a what?
That's up for jury trial, Mr. Cintron.
Oh, this one?
Mhm.
Okay, okay, moving up.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, mom is doing great. She enjoyed her birthday.
Good. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Judge, I'm here on Raymond Garcia. We reached an agreement on that case. He's downstairs. Take a while. Now, the excuse me, 26 and be back.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Mr. Guerra, could you approach for me, please? All right, I'm being informed that your attorney, your client is the person with the medical emergency.
Just heard your honor.
All right, so we're gonna see what happens and what they're saying, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Thank you.
Judge, I was watching YouTube yesterday, just by chance, because I want to see if the court's busy right now. I might be able to talk to one of the prosecutors. So just by chance, I flip it on. So I witnessed like everything that happened. It was, it's almost worse being on Zoom because it's like you feel even more helpless. So you can't do something right then and there.
Oh, yeah. And so now I've started a new rule for attorneys, if they're on Zoom and they're by themselves, send me their address.
Oh, yeah.
Only one attorney took me up on that, and that's Kelly McGinnis. So the other people who didn't take me up on that, if they're in their office alone, I'm like, we done. Yeah, because I done all I can do.
It was very.
I could hear the deputy in the back, someone calling the EMS.
Oh, and here's the thing. We called 911 and they put us on hold.
Oh, no.
But we were all calling at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that has happened to me before, but that just tells you how busy they are. And people should really, if it's not emergency, they shouldn't be calling 911. Like they didn't fix my burger right. Don't call 911 for that.
So there was an attorney that died while he was on Zoom. I forget his name.
That was as far as
There you go.
yeah, that was sad.
He was on Zoom. And he had a heart attack. And everybody-
Could you put that to us? Yes.
Yeah.
Lupe or no?
No, he was on Zoom. Mhm. I can't want to go on Zoom.
But yeah, so I can't imagine being a 911 operator because you hear all of that constantly and there's no break for it.
Well.
So we'll see.
That's not right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just run over to the 437.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to leave without being here for your client to hold his hand or something?
I don't know what it is about this.
He wants to get out of the court. He's fascinated.
Oh, he's going to down. All right, so we're gonna reset.
I think what they should do in those, have a door.
They ended up going that direction. Because something's going on.
It's kind of like a revolving door.
Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Anthony Kachowski, please? All right, we're going to recall this for May 31st and we'll see how your client is.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jacqueline. Jacqueline.
11, Judge.
You know me so well. Marcus, Mr. Anthony Kachowski has been reset for May 31st.
Okay. You said he sent a dismissal individually, and I guess the judge did sign it, take it possible to a written one. I don't know. I don't know what. I think the odds are older. That might be why.
No, I got it. Okay. I believe it. I got it. Okay. Yes. He was talking about this.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate the. Yeah.
I have it now.
Judge? Yes. Sorry, I forget sometimes. May I?
Yes.
This is not my priority, but I do try to keep other people's wants, desires, and time in question. I think I'm number one, which is fine, but I have a civil lawyer that's sort of waiting me up for things. So the sooner I know, the sooner I can tell him. And I get that it may be 11:30. I told him this. In fact, I told him to go away. Yeah, I get it, but I still do my best to try to take other people into consideration. So I just, to the extent you can let me know, please do.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Ferguson, can you contact Ron Ross and see if he can get here so we can take up John Garcia, please?
I think Mr. Ross was in trial.
Okay, all right, we'll check on that.
Also,
Thank you for letting us know.
You're welcome. I saw him yesterday and I was behind him. I have Manuel Rodriguez on the docket today. I filed the continuance. I don't know whenever you wanted me to approach on that.
All right, Jacqueline, could you go to the back and tell them that I need a motion for continuance on Manuel Rodriguez? Thank you.
We're going at lunch. She's on that. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
He said he filed a motion for continuance. All right, Mr. Gonzalez, did you file the motion for continuance?
I did. It was on, filed it online. You filed it? You filed it? Last night. Last night? Let me go check. Let me call.
Ms. Ferguson?
I'm not keeping you on nothing. I'm not keeping you on nothing. Offer remains open.
between you and Judge. And you, at least y'all fit.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Okay, we're still stagnant. We haven't reached the deal. Are we come back at
Which
one?
case is this?
Tristan Rodriguez,
All right, then it's going to trial.
1:30?
No, not necessarily at 1:30. We're gonna see what the lineup is.
We're gonna see what the lineup is?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so just remain in courtroom. Thank you. Brian Oriel. Brian Oriel.
Yes, Judge. Sorry, Judge, my internet's lagging here. Can you hear me?
Yes. What is happening with your
Okay,
case?
sorry, Judge. I conferred with Ms. Sparks. We have a new offer on the case. I'd like to have this go to the next setting so I can meet with our client to review the new offer. And
Where's your client?
if we are, he is, he should be on here, Judge.
I'm here. I'm here, Your Honor. Can you hear me, Brian?
All right, Mr. Is
Yes.
your name Flores?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you need to make sure that your screen name says that, okay?
Okay.
All right, Ms. Ferguson or Mr. Flores, I need a 2-week reset. And that's your plea deadline date. The court will not accept any plea agreements after this date.
Judge, is that a specific date or normal? Let me know what date that is.
May 10th.
May 10th? Okay.
All right, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good morning.
Thank you. You too. Yes.
Judge, we're back on Christopher Rodriguez from yesterday. It's the drug case where we're trying to set up an appointment to inspect the drugs.
Yes, where are we on that?
I got a hold of the contact person and they said we just need to let them know when would work.
Yes.
So Kelly and I agreed that next Monday would work for us to go.
All right, is his full name Christopher Rodriguez?
Christopher Adley Rodriguez, Judge.
Sometimes they follow it different. So you're saying sometime next week?
Yeah, we're gonna go at 1:30, Judge. We're gonna have lunch together, and then we're gonna go to beer and all, and then have some roadies before we go over to the 555 academic.
Well, I'm aware that Marcus just does not eat everything. He's very healthy. So what place are you taking him? So we can see if that's
We'll
doable.
go to
or
like
not.
green maybe, and then beer and all. So we'll have healthy vegetarian lunch, and then.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I get a date for Christopher Rodriguez in 2 weeks? And this will be to see where we are. All right, we'll come back on May 10th
For in-person jury trial, or just to see where we're at?
to see where we are. And I'm going to give you your plea deadline date.
Okay.
And that will be a short turnaround for a plea deadline.
Okay. On that date, do you want us on Zoom or in person?
That date you can be on Zoom.
Okay. May 10th. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Judge, can we reapproach on Hamilton?
Yes, just give me 1 second.
Sure.
All right, Mr.
They have the motion.
I have the
File it
motion.
myself.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez.
I haven't shown it's accepted.
Do you have the motion with you?
Oh, yeah, I can email it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll bring it up. Well, I'll meet you with that.
Okay.
All right, and then just give me 1 second and I'll take up Hamilton.
No problem.
I'm surviving. And some people in the back.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so next we have Hamilton.
Yes, Judge. So this morning we filed a motion for continuance, just requesting additional time to review the file. We had another lead counsel in that case who's no longer on it. This morning we appeared and conferred with the state and learned that our client has picked up 3 new charges, is in custody on those charges.
All right, where's Mr. Hamilton?
He's in custody, Judge. They didn't bring him over. I was told they didn't bring him over, but he's on Zoom. And so I need to also get a meeting with him also. In light of all this.
Where's Mr. Hamilton? Because I don't see Mr. Hamilton on the Zoom. Just a moment.
So I don't know, at 6:30, we received an email saying they'd be bringing him over dressed for trial, but this morning when I checked with the bailiff, they mentioned he was still back there.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you see where Mr. Hamilton is, please?
Yes, ma'am. Judge, he was ordered to be in court, so you might want to ask Norma.
Deputy Laura, do you have Mr. Hamilton? Well, he's not back there. So if you can see where he is, please. David Cuellar, we're gonna see where your client is.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. David Cuellar.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I conferred with the state. They gave me their first offer today, this morning. I would still like to see if I can, I'm going to have to file a motion for some CPS records. I was wondering if it's possible maybe for one more setting, and I can go over the offer with my client as well, if that's possible.
Where is your client?
I believe I spoke to her in breakout room number 13, Your Honor. She should be in there.
All right, so attorneys, do not leave your client in a breakout room if you're asking for a reset, because they need to know when the date will be.
Yes, ma'am. Should I bring her back?
I'm trying to bring her back now, so just give me a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Caleb Connor, I need a jury trial date. All right, your jury trial date is May 31st.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
Thank
you're
you.
excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
May my client be excused as well?
Yes,
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome. Charles Bond. Charles Bond. All right, Nathaniel Navy.
Good morning, Judge. I have Cameron Sell. It's a criminal trial division case.
I'm here, Judge.
All right, just a second.
Sorry.
No problem. Nathaniel Navy, I'm gonna send you breakout room number 6.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Derek Edmonds.
Hi, Judge. I mistakenly put criminal trial division on my, when I renamed myself as actually family violence, but I've been talking with Michelle Hayden. We have an agreed order subject to the court's approval for a motion to set a bond. I just emailed it to Norma just a moment ago.
All right, but we're here on a motion to revoke. What are we doing with that?
We're actually on here on a motion to set bond, not a motion to revoke, Judge.
All right, when is this motion to revoke being set, Ms. Ferguson?
Judge, there's some unique circumstances in this case, which is the subject of the bond. She's supposed to have a baby this week. That's the main reason we have an agreement to set bond in this case.
So why are we rushing to set bond for someone who's supposed to be having a baby next week? And they haven't been doing their drug testing and didn't go to felony drug court.
Judge, I provided Ms. Hayden, I guess there's a communication issue between her and her probation officer. They switched the probation officer out. She tried to reach out to him. She couldn't get any, make any headway as far as trying to find out who her probation officer is. However, in the meantime, she has been attending the BIP classes. She finished that on March 1st of this year. So the whole time that she's been fugitive since October, she's been still going to BIP classes and finished those BIP classes during that time period. And I provided that to Michelle as well.
Well, what about her and Ms. Azola? I'm not taking any of this as true, but in the motion to revoke, it says that she has not been calling the UA hotline. So my concern is, and maybe it shouldn't be a concern of mine, but it sort of is a concern of mine. My concern is we have someone who's due to have a child and obviously has drug issues, because I never would have referred her to felony drug court and never would have had her do the UA hotline. And now I'm being told that there's an agreement so that she can get out of jail to have a child.
And I understand the
So
court.
let me ask you this, what happens if she gets out of jail, uses drugs and has a child that's born addicted? Then where are we going to be?
Can I speak? I'm sorry.
I think your attorney would probably not want you to, but if you all want to agree to a bond, I just wanted to know that you all considered those factors, but if you want to agree to a bond, then you all can agree to a bond. But I don't know why we're not hearing the motion to revoke as well, regardless of whether she's about to have a baby or not.
Judge, I was hired by her fiance Thursday afternoon, started putting everything in motion on Friday. Obviously, Judge, I don't have 10 days to prepare for it. I know what's alleged on the motion to revoke probation. I totally understand the court's concerns. They're my concerns as well, as I'm sure they're Ms. Hayden's concerns. And understand where the court may be going with this. I guess I'm going on faith, and maybe I shouldn't have as much faith, that she's not been using. I hope to God she has not been using while she's been pregnant. And the only reason why, Judge, I would even consider approaching the court is because she has been going to the BIP classes and attending those faithfully, even though she's not been reporting to her probation officer. To me, that shows an effort on her part just to comply with, a very important condition of the court's probation, which is to attend the BIP classes on a domestic violence allegation or charge.
So is there a reason why we're not hearing the motion to revoke? That's my question. Why
Other
can't we
than-
hear the motion to revoke?
Other than the 10 days, Judge, and the concern that she's supposed to be induced, she had an inducement scheduled for this week. That's part of the rush of trying to get the bond in front of the court. And I think on the sonogram, it actually might have indicated that I provided to Michelle in the court the date that the inducement is supposed to take place on, which I think is the 29th, if memory serves correct. But other than 10 days, Judge, to prepare for the motion to revoke probation hearing, that'd be the reason why I wouldn't want to proceed today on it.
All right, because what I have from 2019, and I'm just telling you what the court's conditions were in 2019 for this case. She had a referral to felony drug court, and she also had a referral to have counseling with Victoria Spicer. Then she pled true to a violation of 2 and 5. And I believe 5 is reporting and 2 is drugs, testing positive. And I am altered and amended her conditions to extend her for 2 years. She was to do a UA on October 19, 2020 by 2:30 p.m. And if positive, she was supposed to go to SATA. If negative, then she was to be referred to felony drug court. So I don't know if both the state and the defense were aware that Ms. Arzola has a drug issue.
Judge, I was aware of that. I'm assuming, looking at the court history, that she tested negative. That's why she was not sent to SATA on that UA in court, but I did notice that, yes, Judge.
So I don't know if both parties were aware of that when you all are setting, agreeing to a bond for her, but those are issues. And Ms. Arzola, what I can tell you, as a person who's been a defense attorney, who's done CPS cases, the worst thing that you can see is a baby who's born and going through withdrawals. Because one, the baby doesn't know why it's in pain. And the only thing that can satisfy that pain would be drugs. Do you understand? So what are you all agreeing to?
Judge, we've agreed to a $10,000 bond on the case, again, subject to court's approval. We're asking for weekly and or random UAs, and we're also asking for a GPS tracker to be installed after the baby is born, but if it can be installed prior to that. And I have a call in GPS right now, pretrial service to GPS. I talked to a lady there. She does not know if the GPS tracker will interfere with the medical equipment at the hospital or not. She talked to one of her colleagues. They did not know the answer to that question either.
We've had this issue come up. They're not going to allow her to have a GPS tracker at the hospital.
Judge, I don't know if we could agree to a patch or something. I mean, the main reason that we were in agreement with it is because for her to go and be induced to have the baby. But obviously, the primary concern of anyone is the safety of this child in this case. So,
all right. And what I can tell you, Ms. Arzola, if your child is born and your child is born positive, CPS will come to the hospital and remove the baby from your custody. Do you understand? You're shaking your head, but I'm not hearing anything.
I'm sorry. Yes, I understand totally and completely.
All right. And who is?
But that's not going to happen.
Who is this fiance, Mr. Evans?
His name is Joseph Miranda, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. When is, I'm sorry, Mr. Evans, when is she being induced?
Eleanor, do you know the day that was supposed to happen on this week?
Yes, sir. It's actually tomorrow.
All right. Then I will set, I'll follow your agreement of setting the bond at $10,000. We'll do a GPS tracker. Fees will be waived, and it will be installed after she's released from the hospital.
Thank you, Judge. And Judge, do you want to reporting to probation as well as pretrial services?
She needs to report to probation. All right, and Ms. Ferguson, I'm sorry, Ms. Hayden.
Do you know if the patch is something that would be problematic for her circumstances?
I think that when you go into the hospital, they basically want to remove everything.
Okay, and that may be something to consider after she gives birth as well.
Okay.
That's something, Judge, we're fine with.
All right, well, what we'll do is we'll do the UA hotline. And I'm saying this again, and I've said it before, Ms. Arizala, because when I give conditions, I don't give conditions without the defendant hearing them. When you're released from the hospital, you need to call the UA hotline. Do you understand?
I do understand.
Ms. Ferguson, can I have this recalled in 15 days, please? All right, we're going to come back on May 16th at 9 a.m. and she needs to appear in person. Is there anything else?
Oh, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're not excused. Probation needs to talk to you.
Okay.
Judge, do you mind if I go in a breakout room with probation, Ms. Arzola? If I go in the
Yes.
same breakout room?
I'll send you on to breakout room number 1. And Rebecca, if you could go to breakout room number 1, please.
And can I be excused from there, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Charles Bunk.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
James Pareda and Sean Foster, my clients, we have discussed with Joe Ray Garcia. We are asking for resets on both matters so they can do some discovering.
I'm sorry, you said Sean Foster and
James Pareda. Mr. Pareda is in custody. Mr. Foster is not.
And then that motion, you already filed it. You're bringing it to me.
all right, thank you. All right, so what are the issues with discovery, Mr. Bach?
Lack of.
What are you missing? And
In Mr. Pareda's case, there is a sealed case I was unaware of. And I don't believe the state nor myself has all the discovery on the sealed case. And then on Mr. Foster's case, the case originated in the city of Castle Hills, and they have not yet provided body cameras to the state and or me. So those are the two different issues for those two individuals.
all right, and where is Mr. Foster?
I hope he's on the Zoom.
Sean Foster? All right, we'll take up Mr. Pareda. Ms. Ferguson or Mr. James Pareda, can I have a 30-day reset, please? For discovery? All right, that's going to come back on May 23rd. Ms. Ferguson, Mr. Pareda can go back, he's L8. All right, and Mr. Foster is not here, Mr. Bond.
Okay, I will work on that. I have one other gentleman that I need, the Dimitri Lavalace, I need to discuss with Marcus when he's available, please.
All right, thank you. If you'll go back to your original breakout room.
I will, and in the meantime, I'll find Mr. Foster.
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor.
Just a moment. All right, Charles May.
Yes, Your Honor. I've been in the waiting room since about 9:20 and I haven't had anybody come.
They're
get-
working their way through, Mr. May.
Okay, Judge. I'll just
All
go
right,
back.
thank you. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, Linda Corley.
Yes, Judge, I've conferred and I have received an offer that I'm going to be talking to my client about. I don't believe we have any discovery issues at this time. If I could get a reset. Ralph Reyes, Judge, 2022 CR 1657.
Where's Mr. Reyes?
Yeah, I was hoping he might be one of these people that doesn't have a name up because I have not been able to get a hold of him this morning, although he did have notice of the hearing, Judge.
All right, Ralph Reyes. Ralph Reyes. All right, he's not on the Zoom screen, Miss Corley.
Yeah, I thought somebody, Ralph Reyes, I saw somebody log in, but Judge, I have been sending him texts and calling him and I haven't gotten a response.
All right, is there a prosecutor available?
I can do it, Judge.
All right, the court is calling 2022. Is Brenda
I'm here,
there?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. 2022 CR 1657, State of Texas versus Ralph Reyes. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Ryan Groomer for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Linda Corley, Judge, I don't think he's in the courtroom, but can we have him call just in case?
Yes, we will. All right, we're proceed. Ms. Corley, you're on Zoom. Do you have any objections to this proceeding by Zoom?
No, Your Honor.
For the record, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:49 a.m. Ralph Reyes is not on the Zoom screen. There is not a Ralph Reyes in the courtroom. Deputy Laura, has Ralph Reyes been in the courtroom at all today?
No, Your Honor, he has not.
All right, Ms. Corley, have you had any contact with Mr. Reyes?
Judge, I have been in regular contact, but I have not been able to talk with him this morning.
State?
State would ask for a bond forfeiture, Judge.
All right, that'll be granted. If you're able to make contact with your client and your client presents himself in person to the court will reconsider.
Okay, and Judge, how long does he have to do that?
It needs to be done by the end of this week.
Thank you, Judge. I will work on getting a hold of him.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, I have a motion for continuance on Manuel Rodriguez. Where is Mr. Manuel Rodriguez? All right, if you all can approach, please. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 11644, State of Texas versus Manuel Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
For the defense?
Leo Gonzalez from Manuel Rodriguez.
And are you Mr. Rodriguez?
Manny Smith.
All right, defense has filed a motion for continuance. State, have you had a chance to review the motion for continuance?
I have.
All right, the court has reviewed the motion for continuance. Mr. Gonzalez, have any of these witnesses that you say you need been subpoenaed?
They have not, Your Honor. They're willing to come in without being subpoenaed. However, one of them lives out of state, so we're not able to secure service on that particular individual.
Motion for continuance is denied. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing from the state.
All right, thank you. You'll be proceeding to trial, Mr. Rodriguez.
Now. Want to hang around here?
Yes. Yes, please, if you could take those to the back. All right, Albert Charas.
Yes, Your Honor. I was waiting in the waiting room. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be in there. No one came. I stepped out and in trying to get back into 12, I can't get back into 12.
Oh, if you'll go back to number 6, Mr. Jerry Garcia is in number 6.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Natasha Torres.
Good morning. Actually, Your Honor, I just got my email. I'm going to go back in the room for number 4.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Victoria Cruz, who's listed as Jerry Kagan.
Hey, Judge, I need to get back to criminal trial division.
All right, you can go back to, unless you sign out.
Thank you.
Did you sign out and sign back in?
Yes, Judge, I have to run to another court.
Who is your client?
Valentin Ramses Ramos. Whatever.
All right, you are in number 8.
Thank you.
Nathaniel Navy.
Good morning, Judge. And I'm not driving, I'm a passenger in the vehicle, so I knew that you would have that concern.
No, I can tell you, unless you're in Europe, you are not driving.
I am not driving, Judge.
All right.
Judge, on this case, I filed a motion to set aside the indictment on 2022 CR, I think it's 0703, and or maybe it's just 703. No, 0703. And I did that yesterday afternoon. The state needs time to research this matter and look into it before we set it for a hearing, Judge. So I know that they're going to be requesting that. And depending on what they, I think depending on how that goes, it may or may not affect the offer, Judge. So I just be requesting.
All right, Ms. Fergus Kenny, I have a date on Mr. Cameron for 15 days, please.
Judge, my
Just a
client,
moment.
Sean,
Just a moment. All right, you're coming back on the 17th of May.
17th of May. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. You're excused.
And Mr. Tell too.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
All right, and Mr. Foster, I do see him on the screen.
yes, Judge, he was there. He just didn't, he had the wrong name.
All right, so we'll reset Mr. Foster for the same date as your other client. And I believe that was the 23rd.
Okay,
All right, so he's excused.
thank you. I'm gonna go back to the
You're
breakout
welcome.
room now.
All right, thank you.
All right, Sean, log off. Thank you.
Just 1 second. Everyone, just give me a moment, please. All right, thank you. Yes. Well, he's gonna be forced to come unless they're gonna. That's not- well, Well, he's coming tomorrow. He needs to appear for tomorrow. All right, the persons on Hamilton.
Yes, Judge.
Hi, thank you for your patience. If you can come forward. Your client is going to be brought tomorrow. I've been informed that he did not want to appear today. So he's going to be brought over tomorrow for trial.
Okay, we'll go see him. Thank you.
You're welcome.
May we be excused then?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, man.
Judge,
Yes.
were you going to be ruling on our motion for continuance, or did you want us to approach
We
tomorrow?
can't rule on a motion to continue if your client's not here.
Okay.
Yes, so tomorrow.
All right. Yes,
All right,
Judge.
thank you. Thank you. Mr. Engelke?
Ms. Torres and I have been negotiating with the state, and I believe she has a better understanding of what we're doing than I do. You could have her speak to that. Natasha, you're muted.
I'm just waiting for the judge's response.
All right, so you're saying Orozco, Mr. Engelke?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
What is happening with this case?
There are two cases. My case is a state jail case, and Ms. Torres is representing him on a burglary case.
Are both cases indicted?
Yes, ma'am. And I believe our client is ready to accept a plea bargain offer from the state.
I'm sorry, there's something wrong with your microphone. Ms. Torres, what is happening with these cases?
Yes, Your Honor. Keith and I have been discussing, there's an offer right now for my case that would resolve the other pending case. We're ready to proceed forward. However, we just need to work on paperwork. I did email Mr. Joe Ray Garcia. He was the prosecutor I was speaking with.
Okay, as soon as the court has the paperwork, then we'll go forward. If you could let Ms. Ferguson know, and I'll send your client to a breakout room with you, and I'll send you all to breakout room number 1.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I have another case, another Zoom meeting. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. I'll come back as soon as I'm done.
All right, Jesse Sanchez.
Yes, Judge, I have the 2 cases. Nobody ever came into the breakout room, but on these cases, Ms. Aranda, we applied for a PTD and we still haven't heard whether she's accepted or rejected.
All right, I'm going to send you, if you can put in the chat box on Ms. Aranda to Ms. Ferguson, we'll check to see what the status is of the PTD. And then if you'll wait patiently, a prosecutor will make their way to you.
Okay, and I also have another person, Tisha Fortenberry. She should be in the courtroom. I talked to her this morning. She's trying to log in. I'm not sure whether physically or logging in, but on that case, we're set for Thursday on a misdemeanor, and the felony would be dismissed if we do the plea in the misdemeanor case. We have that agreement already.
Okay, and on Fortenberry, has that been indicted?
Yes, Judge.
Yes. What files do you need? Yep, here's the rest. Is that Ruben Garcia Lozano? Ruben Lozano Garcia?
Yes.
And I don't have the case file on Fortenberry.
It might be under Lumpkin.
Might be under what? Lumpkin? Lumpkin. Ah, it is. All right, what is happening with Lumpkin Fortenberry?
Yes, Judge, again, they will dismiss the felony case if we plea on the DWI out of County Court 12. I have that set for Thursday.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Fortenberry, Lumpkin Fortenberry, and we can get a reset for Thursday, please. And we'll do it Thursday in the afternoon. And if you take care of that before then, just let us know.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Just in case they reset it for some reason, I'll call the court or send an email.
All right, so we'll come back on that on April 28th. And which county court number was that, please?
12, County Court 12.
All right, and then Aranda, oops. My understanding on Aranda is that the thank you, is that the PTD has been accepted. So she's going to come back on May 23rd.
Okay, Judge. And I guess I also have to come in so that she can sign the contract or.
No, my understanding, I guess, my understanding from reading this is the fees have been paid, so she should have instructions on what to do next. So you should have instructions on what to do next.
Okay, I hadn't received anything. That's why I was in the dark up until now.
All right, no problem.
All right, I'll make sure I log in on that day also, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Maybe excused.
You have one more case, is that correct?
That was the Lumpkin case, Judge.
All right, so
Lumpkin
that's done.
Yeah, that one's also done.
All right, then you are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Charles May.
Yes, Your Honor. I visited, there's a motion suggesting competency, Your Honor, so I guess we need to reschedule until that's, we have the evaluation on that, Judge.
When is the evaluation scheduled and when was this filed?
Judge, I had seen, I think it might have been, to be honest, I don't know who filed it, Judge. I've been going through my files and I don't see where I filed any motion for suggesting incompetency, but the state informed me that there is a motion out there.
Do you know when it's set?
No, Judge, to be honest with you, I do not.
When was it filed?
Judge, let's see. I think back on March the 14th, I was visiting with Marcus Sanders, and I think he's one that advised me that there was the motion for psychiatric eval or.
All right, your client is on bond.
Correct, Your Honor.
So we need to get that set. Mr.
Okay.
Manning? Mr. Manning? Your audio is off. Mr. Manning, I need you to come to the 187 District Court by 1:30 today, okay? So we'll see him in court at 1:30. Mr. Mays, you can appear by Zoom.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Might be excused, Your Honor.
Yes. And Mr. Manning, the courtroom is located at 300 De La Rosa. It's on the 4th floor. We'll see you at 1:30. Thank you, Mr. May.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Charles Blanc. Charles Blanc, Lavallee.
Did I hear my name?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I Marcus was unavailable. I conferred with another DA. I'm drawing a blank on her name right now. I'm age, sorry. However, my guy needs to stay. We're not able to resolve it at this time. We'd like to stay on the trial lineup, please, at this point. I can break out with Ms. Ferguson and discuss dates or whatever you'd like me to do.
All right. So Ms. Ferguson, set this for jury trial, please. Mr. Lavallee, your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any pleas in this case. What date, Ms. Ferguson, for jury trial?
Let me get my calendar, Judge. Hold on. Okay.
All right, it's June 6th.
I leave the country
June 7th.
I leave the country on June the 10th.
Ms. Ferguson, let's put it in May. Do you have something open for early May, Ms. Ferguson?
I'm starting a trafficking case May the 2nd.
How long are you expecting that to last? And is that going to go?
It's going to go. Yes, it's specially set in the 227th District Court. And Eric Woolrich is May the 17th. I'm in Los Angeles the next week.
What are you saying about May 17th?
No, I have another special setting on the 17th and the 399th.
Oh, they never go. Special settings
Oh.
never go.
It's going. This guy's been in jail for 3.5 years.
No, I mean, when I say they never go, I mean, special settings usually never go.
I would bet my house on this going.
Okay, everyone heard that? So a lot of people see all the attorneys in court know special settings usually never go. So we're going to set it on May 17th, Mr. Bach, and we'll see where
Yes.
we are.
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Lavallee, you need to appear in court on May 17th at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Courtroom is located at 300 De La Rosa.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. If
Thank
you have
you,
no
Judge.
one else with us, you are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Judge, may I approach?
Yes, Mr. Charles.
I conferred with the state. I am asking for little more time. There is a case they're saying is a sealed case that hasn't been charged yet. And there is some discovery I'd like to see on the other cases. This is on Mr. D'Angelo Robinson. So I was just going to ask for a reset.
Mr. Robinson, you need to start your video. Mr. Robinson, when you're on the Zoom screen, you're not allowed to let your screen go dark. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the issue with the cases, Mr. Charles?
Judge, there is a case that the state has indicated is coming down the line that hasn't been indicted. And there are some issues with the discovery that I wanted to sort out with the state. So I would ask for additional time.
What are the discovery issues?
There is a fingerprint report that I'd like to get on one of the cases, or I should say it affects two of the cases, the aggravated robberies. And there is an issue that I have with the photo lineup that I also want to address with the state.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on D'Angelo Robinson, can you recall this in 2 weeks, please?
Judge, could we have more time than that? He got picked up about March 10th. So we really haven't been on the docket more than about a little over a month.
No, I understand, but I want to know where the fingerprints and all of this stuff that you're asking for is. So we're going to come back on May 16th. All right, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Just one moment, please.
I can leave.
Yes.
You can leave, sir.
11, Judge.
Thank you.
He's on 12.
All right, thank you. You guys are so awesome. You know, my ophthalmologist says when I am ready to get the bifocals, he will make sure that I have the Invisalign. All right, before I take you up, Mr. Cisneros, let me do a couple of pleas first.
Okay.
All right, the parties on Ruben Garcia. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 11713, State of Texas versus Ruben Lozana Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ryan Groomer for the state of Texas.
For the defense.
Woodard for Mr. Garcia.
And are you Mr. Ruben Garcia?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Woodard, I'm showing you what's entitled discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We're not, Judge. There's repeat offender language on there that we're waiving those enhancements.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
My understanding, what you're charged with is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Off the record for a moment. Can I have the clerk out here, please?
He's on his way, Judge.
Thank you. Is that Rachel? This is Rachel. All right, we're back on the record. Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is.
Mr. Garcia, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There are no applications. The state will take in consideration 2020 CR 11713, 2020 CR 11712. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, debating such motions.
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No, guilty.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
Yes, Judge. State would offer State's Exhibit number 1.
No
Any
objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney? Sorry. Can I have the clerk to come back out, please? Did you understand you have a right to have you or your attorney cross-examine any witnesses the state will call the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We just ask the court to follow the recommendations.
All right, the court will sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility. You credit for any time served. Taking consideration 2020 CR 11713 and 2020 CR 11712. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing, Judge.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. We're off the record. So are the tattoos painful?
Some of them.
Do you have any plans to get more?
No, ma'am.
All right, what's up with the face tattoo? I already know.
I was
but
young and going through things.
How old were you?
18, 19.
All right. All right, here's the thing. You know your criminal history, and you know who you are better than I do, better than your attorney does, better than the state does. If you don't change your life, you're going to find yourself waking up, being an old man at the prison. Don't be the person at the prison when people want to know how things are run. They say, ask Grandpa Garcia. And then you're like, who is that? And it's you. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
Judge.
You're welcome. Who are the parties on Raymond Garcia? Right. Court is calling 2007 CR 4352, State of Texas versus Raymond Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the-
Butler for the defendant.
All right, and are you Mr. Garcia?
Yes.
Defense, I'm showing you what's entitled discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, we're proceeding on the lesser included offense of indecent exposure.
And that's class B.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on indecent exposure? That's as a class B misdemeanor. The range of punishment is up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Garcia, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Judge.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Judge.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of indecent exposure as a class B misdemeanor, punishment to be assessed at 180 days in the Bexar County Jail. There are no applications. There's to be no contact with Brianna Rios or Anita Rios. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
That is, Judge.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver repeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in both places?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
There are none, Judge.
Then to the offense of indecent exposure as a class B misdemeanor, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
State offers States Exhibit 1 and its attachments into evidence.
Any objections?
We've reviewed the document, have no objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did
Yes,
you
Judge.
understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Judge.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty of exposure. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Your Honor.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, no, Judge. He has about in excess of 500 days in jail.
All right, the court will sentence you to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail. You'll be credited for any time served. There's to be no contact with Brianna Rios and Anita Rios. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. It's written out. All right, good luck to you, Mr. Garcia. We can go off the record. Mr. Garcia, keep your clothes on. Nobody wants to see that.
Thank you, Judge.
Keep it inside your own home
Yes.
with adults, and only if they want to see that. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Cisneros,
Yes, Your Honor.
thank you for being patient.
Yes, ma'am. Patience in my pocket. I learned that from your mom.
Okay, thank you. I'll let her know.
Judge, on Mr. Blake Wilburn, I'd like to request a reset. His dad just showed up. I knew that his Blake Wilburn's mother's had a stroke. I didn't realize how serious she is. She's in hospice, Your Honor.
Okay.
And she's 83 years old. His father is 88, and they need him to help with her because they're the only 3 people living in the house. I didn't realize she was ill. I knew she had had a stroke, but I didn't realize it was her 3rd stroke that we know of. But I didn't realize she was in hospital.
So where do we stand on the evaluation of Mr. Wilburn?
Judge, that's on me. I have not told Mr. Wilburn. I have told Mr. Wilburn to contact him. I believe I have. I'm not sure. I did yesterday. So it hasn't been, he has not been evaluated to my knowledge. And that's on me. That's my fault.
We're just gonna defer to the court.
All right, Mr. I understand the issue with his mom and that she's in hospice, but as you know, Mr. Cisneros, this case has been going on for a while.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know, I mean, what are we gonna do about that? Is he going to be perpetually not going to trial?
Well, I mean, if you give me one reset, Your Honor, at that point, I can talk to the family about having them make arrangements to have someone help in the event that we do start trial the next time.
Okay, so the only problem is this case has been going on since 2020.
Yes, ma'am, I understand that. But the mere fact that they have not made arrangements for her care because of the situation, I didn't know that. And I would have had them try to make some sort of arrangements to have somebody care for her.
Okay, Ms. Ferguson, Blake Wilburn, call this for trial next week, please. All right, so he'll need to be in court next week on Monday,
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
and he'll be up for jury trial. He needs to appear in person in court, and let him know the court is not going to accept any reasons for him not being in court.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, Ms. Ferguson, that's going to come back on May 2nd for jury trial. Natasha Torres.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
On Mr. Orozco, it appears he has had a change of heart. So at this time, he has decided to reject the offer on the, I just received an offer today on the burglary of a habitation case. However, I know Mr. Heath has another pending felony. For the burglary case, we would request a plea bargain deadline and a tentative trial setting.
Okay, just one moment. All right, is your client still in the breakout room?
I believe he was in breakout room number. Actually, no, he is present. 187th Olorosco.
I'm right here, ma'am.
All right, let me see. Oh, Mr. Roscoe, just give me a second. All right, can you see for me, Jeffrey, if the clerk has Mr. Roscoe's file? Thank you. This case is indicted, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. He had 2 pending felonies that have been indicted.
You can tell the jurors to come back at 2. Yes. Okay, all right. Can you over it? Nathan Slimane.
Yes, Your Honor, good morning. I'm here on Ramiro Cervantes. He's in custody. I wanted to see if I can go in a breakout room with him quickly, please.
Okay, so you want to confer with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2, Mr. Slimane.
Very good. Thank you, Your Honor.
And we'll see if I can find your client. All right, on Angel Orozco. All right, Ms. Torres, do you have all the discovery on Mr. Orozco?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe I do have all the discovery on the burglary case.
State, are you ready for trial on Mr. Orozco on the burglary case?
Judge, give me 1 second.
Is it family violence, Ms. Torres?
I believe it's criminal trial division. However, the complaining witness is a prior dating relationship.
It's not coded as such, as the regular criminal trial division, but I can look at it to see if it should be with us. But I have personally not reviewed the case to make that determination.
Okay, all right, great. All right, Mr. Roscoe, you're gonna be recalled tomorrow for jury trial. And
Tomorrow?
your plea, yes, and your plea deadline date is tomorrow. If there's some clothing you would like, that is not the clothing that came with you at the Bexar County Jail, you need to make arrangements with your attorney for that clothing exchange. Do you understand?
Okay.
So we'll see you tomorrow, dressed for trial.
Natasha, can I talk to you before we go?
Sure, not a problem, Your Honor. May I be put in a breakout room?
Let me see. All right, I'll send you to number 3. And make sure your client comes back, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
May I approach, Your Honor?
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can put Mr. Angel Roscoe for tomorrow, dressed for trial, please.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Just a moment.
Sure.
No problem. Who wants to approach?
This is Keith Engelkey.
Yes, I'll send you to the breakout room as well, but he's going to jury trial tomorrow. It will either be your case or Ms. Torres's case.
I confer with the state on my case, and the state does not want to do anything on my case until the jury trial is resolved on Ms. Torres's case.
Yeah, either you're going to jury trial or she's going to jury trial. So I'll send you to breakout room number 3. You can confer in there, but either your case will be in jury trial or her case will be in jury trial.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Jerry Kagan.
Hi, Judge. Prosecutor Garcia wants to advise the court that Leon Valley hasn't sent the correct videos yet.
Judge.
Yes.
All right. Yes, ma'am. There's been a mix-up. We've sent it 3 different times. There was someone last week who helped me out on a different case who got it done within days. I have requested it and it's the wrong video, so I'm asking just for a short reset to correct the wrong videos that are being sent.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, Ms. Ferguson on Ramos. Can I have a 3-week reset? All right, we're going to come back on May 19th.
Okay. Let me just check on that Leon Valley. Oh, no, May 19th is good.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ramos, you're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too. Bill Davidson.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready on my client, Mr. Rodriguez. I just have one witness to testify on his behalf.
All right, is Mr. Rodriguez in the courtroom or on Zoom?
He should be on Zoom. He's in the jail.
All right, let me find him. Where do you see Mr. Rodriguez in here?
Yeah, he's just under his last name, Casino Rodriguez.
Ah, okay.
And then were you looking for Cervantes earlier? He's there now too.
Okay, all right, thank you. Who is the prosecutor on Casino Rodriguez?
I was going to do it, Judge.
Thank you. All right. Court is calling 2021 CR 11552, State of Texas versus George Casino Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ryan Grimmer for the state of Texas.
For the defense?
William Davidson.
And are you Mr. Casino Rodriguez?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video due to the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None from the state, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Pacino, do you have any objection to this sentencing taking place by video?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
And the court will note for the record that the defendant entered a plea of no contest on March 31st. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find him guilty, but deferred finding him guilty as he applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement, the punishment is to be at a cap of 12 years. The state opposes your application, and there are no contact orders. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report? State?
Yes, Judge.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report? State?
None from the state.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, State, do you have any witnesses?
We don't, Judge. Good argument.
Thank you. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. I have Christina Aguilar. She's his fiance. She should be on.
All right, Christina Aguirre, could you raise your right hand for me, please, and unmute? If you could unmute, please. All right. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. If you could state your name for the record, please.
Christina Aguirre.
All right, defense?
Yes, Your Honor. May I question her?
Yes.
Christina, how do you know Mr. Rodriguez?
He's my fiance.
And how long have y'all been together?
A little over a year.
Okay. And during this time, has he ever abused you in any way or anything like that?
Oh no, not at all.
Okay. And if he ends up getting out on probation, will you help him to report in and to do what he's supposed to do?
Of course, yes.
Okay. And where does he have a son?
He has a 10-year-old son, yes, Devin.
And who does that son reside with right now?
With George's grandmother. He stays with his grandmother, but his grandmother's old. She's 76 years old and she's gravely ill right now. They're not sure if it's COVID yet. I just talked to her last night, but she's sick right now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Mr. Rodriguez was going to get out, where would he reside?
He's going to stay with his grandma and his son.
Okay.
Yes.
And do you know whether or not he works or has any working skills?
Actually, he does work. He works for a family member, his uncle, and he gets paid really good money.
Okay. And you're aware today of why he's in here, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you're aware that he has a prior robbery?
Yes.
Okay. And is there anything that you have to say to this judge that might help him and help the judge in any way consider whether or not he should get probation?
Yes. Your Honor, his son needs him and his grandmother is very old and he helps me a lot. I'm disabled and he takes care of me. I have seizures and he's helped me a lot. You know, he's a good person. He just needs to be out here with his son.
Okay, thank you. And I pass the witness, Your Honor.
State?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
All right, then any other witnesses, Mr. Davidson?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will hear argument. State?
Yes, Judge. As the court has read in the PSI and the stipulations on State's Exhibit Number 1, Judge, Mr. Pacino Rodriguez preyed on an individual who was just doing his job, just working at a convenience store until Mr. Pacino Rodriguez came to take what wasn't his, and then pulled out displayed a machete, which obviously the person believed it was a gun at the time, but we find out it's a machete. That's not a new story with Mr. Pacino Rodriguez. In fact, the last time he went to prison, it was for a robbery. He has multiple crimes, theft and drugs and robbery. Every single time he's been given a chance and been put on probation, he's been revoked and sentenced to jail. At this point, he's a repeat offender in terms of committing the same type of crimes over and over again. And not only that, they are progressing in violence and severity. He's never been successful on probation. We ask that you sentence him to prison and you give him the entire cap.
All right, Mr. Pacino Rodriguez, is there something you wish to say?
Your Honor, I would like
Just
to
a
add,
minute. Let me have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. What is it you wish to say?
Your Honor, I was gonna ask for another chance out there to really be a man, to become the man my grandfather taught me to be, for my son. And right now, it's just my family is just doing real bad right now, and I just wish
How old is your son?
my son is 10 years old, ma'am.
How old was he when you committed this aggravated robbery?
9.
Did he not need you then?
No, ma'am. I was not living at the residence, ma'am.
So he did not need you at that point in time?
He did. He does need me. He
All right,
does.
here's my question for you. Why should I give you deferred adjudication? And when I ask why I should give you deferred adjudication, I don't mean because Christina needs you because she's disabled, or your mom needs you, or your sons need you, because they needed you when you committed this aggravated robbery. So put that aside. Let's assume that those 3 people do not exist in your life. Why should you be given deferred adjudication?
To give me another chance to be a man.
Why do you need another chance? I see in that report that you're over 28 years old.
Yes, ma'am. And for the crimes I have done, are dumb and ridiculous. And I was not thinking at the time. So right now I'm straight-minded. I feel confident. At the time that I done, I had put a lot of thinking of what I need to do.
What did you learn about the robbery you committed?
Excuse me?
What did you learn from the robbery that you committed and you went to prison for?
I learned that my being away from my family needs me. So I learned that I just need to be a man and to become the person I was meant to be, and not to be a statistic to the system.
All right, Ms. Davidson, I'll hear your argument.
Yes, Your Honor. My client does have a high school diploma, and the types of robberies he has committed are they border on the ridiculous. I think he said he took a bag of chips or something on the last robbery. In this one, he took a body armor drink and ran out of the convenience store with it. And so these robberies,
And he took Bud Light.
yes, these robberies are not the Hope Diamond. I guess the best thing I can say is they're just really stupid type of robberies. And when I asked my client about it, he told me that he thought he took a bar of Xanax that day, and it affected his thinking, and he was blacking out. But what I'm asking for is a period of probation where he can prove himself. And because it is a deferred, if he screws up on this thing, he's got a lot of time hanging over his head. I've told him before that you're not going to put him on probation because somebody else needs him, because that applies to basically everybody in life. But what he has told me is that he wants to give it a good second chance, and he wants to try hard, and he wants to prove himself to the court and to everyone else as well. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Mr. Davidson. Mr. Pacino Rodriguez, your application for deferred adjudication is denied. Does anyone wish to speak to the cap? The state is asking for a cap of 12 years. State, what are you requesting?
Judge, we're requesting the cap, Judge. Obviously, as you mentioned, robbery has been a problem in his past. I think just the fact that it's the same crime over and over again, we are asking for the 12 years that is asked for in the cap. He is, as the court mentioned, 28 years old, and he's already on his 17th misdemeanor or felony case that he has picked up.
All right, defense, what are you asking for with regards to years?
Your Honor, I believe 6 years would be reasonable in this case.
All right. Court will sentence you to 11 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There's to be no contact with ADIA, AD, HIA, Nilesh Kumar, Nileshkumar. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it? Mr. Pacino Rodriguez, did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Pacino Rodriguez, I know at this point in time, you think maybe this is the end of your world, but it's not. You still have a chance to come out of prison and be a productive citizen. But if you continue on the path that you're on, you're going to end up being tagged with the habitual status. And with the habitual status, that means any felony that you pick up, your minimum is going to be 25 years in the prison. So you need to think about your family, think about your son when you're released from prison, and try to do better for them. Good luck to you, Mr. Pacino Rodriguez. Norman Pacino Rodriguez can go back. Mr. Davidson, thank you very much. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Engelke, you're back.
Yes, I was conferring with the, with my client and with Ms. Torres.
All right, so we'll see you all tomorrow for jury trial. Mr. Orozco, we'll see you tomorrow for jury trial. You'll be brought over dressed in whatever clothing you have at the jail. If there is something that you wish to appear in other than the clothing that was brought to you when you were arrested, then you'll need to speak with your attorney, Mr. Engelke and Ms. Torres. If there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know, and we'll see what we can do to expedite that. Ms. Ferguson, Mr. Orozco, L7 can go back. And Mr. Hitchens?
Your Honor, Representative Julie and Vara, these two cases were reset for day for a purpose of receiving an offer. And there's also two sealed indictment cases that are pending, and to find out the status of those two cases.
All right, and have you spoken to a prosecutor?
No, not today.
All right,
I spoke
criminal trial
before
division.
with Joe Ray Garcia.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thanks, Guerrero.
I have a file.
Sure.
This is on Miss Hannah Smith. Hannah Smith was from last week, the lady who drove to court while not on ignition interlock.
Yes.
Her family has been calling on a daily basis. Her mother, her boyfriend's mother.
Cousin of a cousin.
Her employer, because she's a caregiver to somebody, and a prosecutor that knows that caregiver as well. I said I would come in and ask about the bond. I talked to Mr. Sanders. He said he didn't have a position either way if the judge wanted to reinstate or set a new bond. I'm just asking so I can say that I asked.
All right, well, we'll need to have a hearing on it.
Excellent.
If you'll speak with Ms. Ferguson.
Excellent.
She'll set you up for a hearing.
And
And
thank you.
state, there should be a position.
Correct.
Yes.
I think Marcus wasn't here that day.
Okay,
So we will have a position.
all right.
I'll talk to Monica.
All right, and I don't know if you all need whomever you need to call, but just let Ms. Ferguson know, and she'll put it on the docket as soon as possible. Ms.
Okay.
Guerrero.
Thank you. May I be excused?
You may be excused.
Thank you.
This is on Casino Rodriguez. It wasn't part of the plea deal, but he had an open case
Okay, thank you.
hanging around.
All right, who are the parties on, are you on Paul Ramirez?
No, Judge.
I am, Your Honor. Michael and myself.
All right, and then I'll take you up next.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Could I have Paul Ramirez? All right, the court is calling 2016 CR 3229W, State of Texas versus Paul Ramirez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Michael Villarreal for the state.
for the defense?
Andres Campion for the defense.
And are you Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Ramirez, I'm showing you what's entitled motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Paul Ramirez who was placed on community supervision in 2016 CR 3229W for the offense of assault family second on April 26, 2016 for a term of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Paul Ramirez, did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of July and August 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. And the state would waive and abandon the remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Ramirez, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you to 5 years in prison? Did you understand?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is to grant the state's motion and reform the underlying sentence to assess punishment at 2 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. And the state is going to take into consideration misdemeanor cause number 679074, which is a violation of bond and protective order case pending at County Court 13.
And there is also a request for credit for time that was served in TDC.
All right, he has previous TDC time.
He does, Your Honor. The understanding, I believe, when this offense was picked up was that it was going to run concurrent with his parole and he was going to be re-released. At least that's what he was told by his parole officer at the time. Of course, that did not happen. And so he remained in TDC custody on the blue warrant and was remanded back to the Briscoe unit where he served out the remainder of his underlying sentence.
All right, do you have a time for that?
We
So I
do.
can-
We have dates, yes.
All right, if you could read that into the record, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The time credit for Mr. Ramirez begins on January 7th of 2016, and he was not released from state custody until July 23rd of 2019, which comes to a total of approximately 3.5 years.
All right, so is it both the intention that this judgment is satisfied?
That is the understanding and agreement, I believe, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Ramirez, just, I'm sure your attorney informed you of this, but when it's a TDC matter or even it's a state jail matter, if I do a judgment satisfied, you'll still be transferred to process out. It may be quicker with you because of your prior stint in the prison. All right, are you asking the court to follow this agreement?
Yes.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The court then will follow your agreement as finding violation of condition number 5 true, will grant the motion, sentence you to 2 years in the prison. Taking consideration County Court cause number 679074, there's an affirmative finding of family violence. You'll receive credit for any time served, and you will receive credit for any time in TDC, that time being January 7th, 2016 through July 23rd, 2019, which is 3.5 years.
Yeah, Your Honor, just to make the record crystal clear, the time credit begins January 7th to 2016, and he was transferred from Bexar County to TDC on July 7th of 2016. So I guess his TDC time technically starts on July 7th, but he does get the credit because he was in county.
Okay, thank you. And the court will show that the judgment is satisfied. And make sure that you check with the clerks to make sure that all the dates are in there.
I've already spoken with Lupe.
All right, thank you. Mr. Ramirez, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, because there's been an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Ramirez. Do better.
Thank
you. All right. And you can take that to the clerk as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And is the dismissal? Oh, you.
Mr. Slimane?
Yes, Judge.
Yes. Yes.
On Ramiro Cervantes, it's technically set for today for contested. The state and I have an agreement. My understanding is if probation is able to do amended conditions this morning, they'll just withdraw.
Okay.
So I just need to talk to our CLO, I guess, is on Zoom.
Yes, she is. And let me send her to a breakout room. Who is the prosecutor you're conferring with?
With Marcus.
All right, could one of the prosecutors let Rebecca know what the agreement is on Cervantes?
Yes, Judge.
And then I will send Mr. Cervantes to a breakout room with the CLO to go over conditions.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Thank you.
Ms. Reyes, they're going to send you an agreement on Cervantes for new conditions and to withdraw the motion.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Mr. Cervantes, if you'll go to breakout room number 4, please. And the CLO will meet you there.
Very good. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, thank you. All right, anyone else ready? Yes.
Garcia, the rest of his cases.
So to all the attorneys in the courtroom, we do have an intern with us who's thinking about entering into our field of practice. So her name is Jacqueline. She's very intelligent, great person. So if anyone would like to speak to her, just to give her your words of wisdom, that would be greatly appreciated. And I'm looking at Eddie Bravenik.
And I was just thinking, I have no words of wisdom. I used to think I did, and I got old.
Well, Eddie, this will replace the blueberry muffin, so I think we should probably talk with her.
You know, I truly was going to bring you one, and then I decided it was more fun. It was more fun to have this conversation than it was to actually bring it.
So Eddie has been owing me a blueberry muffin since, I don't know, 1997.
Yeah, it's pretty close to 2000.
Yeah.
Somewhere around.
I'm hoping it's not a stale blueberry muffin. I'm hoping it's fresh. Yeah, it's fossilized,
Oh, I
Leo.
hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
That wasn't real smart.
It's like these muffins are very hard. Is that Mr. Citron?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Citron?
Hi.
Hi, my understanding is that you want to appear for your jury trial in Orange. If you want to appear before a jury in Orange, that is completely up to you. I think appearing in Orange, that outfit, maybe it's not the best of outfits to appear before a jury trial. I don't know if there's a way to dress it up. So your trial is not going to be suspended because you choose not to change your clothing. Do you understand?
I understand.
How old are you?
40.
All right, so you're old enough to know better. So if you want to appear before a jury of your peers who are not in Orange, because the jury of your peers are not going to be other inmates wearing orange. There are going to be people like you see in this courtroom. So if you choose not to change in clothing, that is completely up to you. We're all adults and we can all make our own adult decisions. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good luck to you.
Your Honor, may I respond to that? Your Honor, I just got retained on this case on April the 12th, and I became his attorney then. I didn't realize that the case was going to be set for trial or anything like that when I signed on as his attorney. Had I known that, I would have had him in civilian clothes. So I guess I'll take the blame for that, in that if we want to start trial tomorrow, we can bring him in civilian clothes.
All right, we'll get you dressed.
Okay.
And are you going to be wearing civilian clothing, Mr. Citron?
Yes.
Okay, all right, we'll bring him over for trial tomorrow, dress
Okay.
for trial.
And how high up are we on the lineup, Your Honor?
Everybody is number one.
No.
Did someone say something about my beloved LSU Tigers? Was that Cornelius Cox?
Was apparently watching Zoom and she would like to also put her opinion in that just don't do it. So.
People are telling you not, but you know what? They joke. The practice of law is a beautiful thing. Yes.
No, if Mrs. Teeter,
yes.
Are we gonna work through?
No, we're gonna, just so everyone, I'll make it out. Just so everyone knows, the court is gonna take its break at 12:30. And everyone have a nice lunch. Be back here by 1:45. And we're gonna start with jury trial.
And a lot of times, facts are just so that way. In a good relationship, build trust, you know, continue to analyze it right away. You'll find my business. Of course, the conversion is a bad relationship. And you're gonna make mistakes and it is enjoyable too, if the judge harasses you about 20 years. And, you know, I think that that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. That I enjoy that. And it somehow makes all that we do to involve stress. And that's the fact that it's a good relationship. So that's what someone told me. His name is Bexar. Great grandfather.
Yes.
Attention hearing at 1:30 on Zoom, so I'll be here. I just want to let you know I'll be handling that, and then I'll get off as soon as we figure out what's going to flip about. Okay.
Thank you.
Don't be afraid of enemies, but to the extent you can, remember that. Brand Newman, I have a wife that she had, where she had like she ate something that was not kept her up a lot. And we all have things going on. And if you have a better relationship, we can accommodate you. Somehow people treat you a little better. It's okay to screw up, and that's life. Is that okay? Yes, say you're sorry. Do your best to make.
I just have a logistics
It's
question.
really not complicated.
So what time do you think
What you have to do is remind yourself
whoever's picking a jury would be starting?
and speak clearly so she can hear
Would be
you.
starting.
And always give her a card with your bar number.
I was trying to figure out if I should lose my parking spot, drive to the office so I can eat lunch and then come back
I wouldn't lose my parking space.
and come back.
Don't they charge?
Well, yeah, but I mean, but I was running late, so I parked here as opposed to going to my office plus the weather, you know, but if I go to my office, then somebody can give me a ride or I can walk, because normally I walk, but it's not bad. So I'm just, unless it's gonna be like super, super late, in which case, well, I'll just leave my truck and walk, and, you know what I mean?
I think we should probably do that, because what ends up happening during selection is depending on the case. I'll ask, how much time we need for jury selection. And then usually, if the state say we need an hour, the defense say they need an hour, it usually ends up going a little bit more than an hour. And then you get jury selection, so that's 2, 3, 4. So probably not gonna be done until 5.
Okay. And how do you do your 4-hour?
Oh,
How do you structure
I
it?
give the state general it's gonna be an hour, give them 30 minutes, you 30 minutes for general. And that gives a chance for Brandon to take a break. And then specific.
Okay.
And then whatever you find you can agree on, you can agree on. What you can't agree on. I'll make the decision.
Okay, so we don't need to alert them by calling our strikes as we go, right? Just making notes.
Yes.
I mean, I understand the mentality behind that, but it always worries me that, someone in the back's like, oh, if I say this, then.
Well, I had to do a jury selection like that once. And I always thought, is the jury going to say, she doesn't like me? She has to be stricken, so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Judge.
You're welcome.
One.
Want to know about lectures on being a defense attorney, and I've heard compliments and complaints about the verdict.
Just pardon the bone and china shop.
All right, Jacqueline Lamerson.
Yes, Judge. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Yes, what's happening with your case?
We have a plea on the new number 1 and an agreed recommendation on the MTR. And I have one last paperwork to sign with my client, and then we should be ready to go.
All right, thank you.
Jacqueline, can you go to breakout room 3, please?
All right, and Barry Hitchens.
Assigned to
Yes, Your Honor, I've conferred with Assistant DA Joe Ray Garcia. I've got an offer. The sealed indictments are he's going to check with intake on those. If I could be put into a breakout room to convey the offer to my client, Julian Vara.
All right. I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Barr, if you'll go to breakout room number 2, please. All right, Deborah Burke.
I had to find the button. My client and I are here to talk to Rebecca because the state is going to withdraw the MTR and he's getting new terms and conditions. So my client needs to go in the breakout room with the CLO, Rebecca.
All right, and what is your client's name?
Manuel Galvan.
And you're with your client, correct?
Yes, look, Your Honor.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And could one of the prosecutors send an email to Rebecca and let her know what the agreement is, please?
Brittany just did talk to Rebecca.
All right, if you'll go to breakout room number 4, then they'll meet you there.
Thank you.
Okay.
He's not on our docket today, though.
All right, who's your attorney, Mr. McCullough?
I'm pretty sure it was Pursued Torres.
Are you wearing a hoodie in court?
I'm sorry.
All right, so what I'm going to need you to do is go to the back offices. Just go out that door and go around to the back and let them know your name and who your attorney is. And they'll let you know when your court date is.
It's today. I know it's today, but like.
All right, just go to the back and talk to the clerk and we'll see what's going on. All right, so Brenda, once we take this plea, then we'll break. Okay. And I think it's just for the motion to revoke.
Which one is it?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Your Honor,
Yes.
where's Barry Hitch's room at?
I'm sorry, who is speaking?
Julian Vara?
Yes, Mr. Vara.
Yes, where's his Barry Hitch's? He had told me to go to a room, but I went to a room, but it was with somebody else in there.
All right, let me find him. Just give me a moment. He's in number 2, Mr. Vara.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Rhodes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, you need to be back at 2 p.m.
Today,
Yes, who's your attorney?
William Brooks.
All right. I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Ms. Ferguson will meet you there. And
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
see if you can't get in touch with your attorney. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I'll be back at 2 o'clock, Your Honor.
All right,
It's
thank
okay
you.
with you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I needed permission, but I can't just walk out.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
This is Roy Ferguson. Did you say that we were taking a lunch or?
Yes, we are. And we'll be back at 2.
At 2 o'clock? Okay. Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am.
make sure you call your attorney, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What else, Judge? You need?
Do you have a highlighter by chance?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this one has died. And of course, I brought something for you to try.
What are we waiting for, Judge?
There is one plea
Okay.
on a motion to revoke.
this and
I can tell you. Oh, on that record? What did we, you know, we bring those? On the new one, the number one, that's in 73 days on the NTR. I'll do it first. What's it, NTR?
Yeah.
And on Lopez, is that only going on one case he has, or he only has one motion to revoke?
He has only one MTR, and then if you number one, he's gonna play on the new number one too.
Okay. Oh, in our plea agreement on the new number one? Oh, okay.
We would have taken care of it last week with Judge Angel when he doesn't like to do misdemeanor plays on waivers. So 6 months.
Something that I want my mom to see. Oh, it's showing? Yes. Do you know I stopped my video? You should try those. Okay, Now I can turn my video back on.
What are they? Layers, 3 cheese. We gotta try.
Okay, and let me just tell you, they're so good. They're delicious. They're magically delicious. Okay, see, here's the funny thing. Jacqueline is so young that she doesn't get the reference.
Yeah. Wait, I don't even know what they are. But magically delicious.
Yes. Do you know what magically delicious, where that come from?
Probably not.
Oh, come
Oh my God, for real?
I don't know. She's so young. She doesn't get the phrase magically delicious.
Get out of here now.
Cornelius, we have, my intern is so young, she doesn't understand the phrase magically delicious.
Where are they? No, I can't.
Magically delicious.
I feel like it's still around. I think it's still around, right?
Yep.
Do they not say that in the commercials anymore?
I think they still do.
I don't think so. They've changed him. He has new clothes and everything.
Wait, what are they? Are they the
Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Well, I don't like Lucky Charms though.
I could never eat Lucky Charms. My mom loved sugar smacks with the frog.
Are those the corn pops?
Yeah, I think so, but they're with the frog.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yes, nice. Yeah.
My little nieces, when we were in Belize, they found corn puffs. Well, it's like the Mexican version of it, but it's called something else.
Which is the same thing.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. But like, I was like, I didn't even know they made these in corn puffs.
So is the sound off? I have a funny story to tell.
I'll put it off.
Great. I like it. Ready. I like the beginning. About to watch the show.
Thank you.
When you know you're, what do you say to you when you're branded and you know you're a man?
For the rest of your life, you know. TV show.
Okay, now Cornelius, we're showing our age.
TV show.
All right, are you guys ready on Mr. Lopez?
Yes, Judge, we are. Or I am. I don't know. I don't see a state.
Oh, yes, we're ready. All right, the court is going to call 2019 CR 3512 and 2020 CR 3768W, State of Texas versus Jesse Lopez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Michael Villarreal for the state.
for the defense?
Jacqueline Lamerson for Mr. Lopez.
All right, and we're proceeding by video due to the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
None.
And are you Jesse Lopez? Could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're proceeding by video. Did you review the documents in each of these cases entitled Defendant's Consent by Video Conference? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
In each of the cause numbers, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. We're going to proceed with 2019 CR 3512, showing you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Jesse Lopez who was placed on community supervision in 2019 CR 3512 for the offense of theft under $2,500 enhanced on January 13, 2021 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 1, on or about the 11th day of February 2022 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Jesse Lopez committed the offense of assault in violation of condition number 1.
How do you please with that? True or not true?
True.
And the state would waive and abandon the remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
None.
Mr. Lopez, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 1 year in the state jail facility and up to a $500 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is to grant the state's motion and reform the underlying sentence to assess punishment at 180 days. And then the sentence run concurrent with, I'm sorry, I don't have the new cause in front of me, the waiver cause number.
All right, that cause number is 2022 CR 3768W. Is that the agreement, Ms. Lamerson?
That is correct, Judge.
Mr. Lopez, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will follow your agreement, found violation of condition number 1 true, grant the motion, sentence you to 180 days in the state jail facility. This is run concurrent with 2022 CR 3768W. There's a $500 fine. Time and money is to run concurrent. And as previously stated, giving you credit for any time served. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you need to know the definition of a weapon or ammunition, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we're proceeding in cause number 2022 CR 3768W. Mr. Lopez, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving the right to have this case heard by a grand jury and for the grand jury to make a decision on whether or not to indict? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand you're also giving up certain rights your attorney has, namely 2 days for the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for jury trial? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Defense, I'm showing you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Next, Mr. Lopez, I'm showing you what's entitled information. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
I do.
State, are you proceeding on the information as presented?
No, Your Honor, state's proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, family violence.
Any objection?
None.
Mr. Lopez, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the offense of assault, bodily injury, marry, or cohabitation as a class A misdemeanor? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The range of punishment for that offense is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, you can withdraw your plea and it will not be held against you. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He is now competent and he was sane at the time, yes, Judge.
Mr. Lopez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, marriage, cohabitation as a class A misdemeanor. Punishment is to be assessed at 73 days in the Bexar County Jail. There is no application for community supervision or deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Brenda Ruiz. And this will run concurrent with 2019 CR 3512. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
That's correct.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lopez, did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have not.
Then to the offense of assault, bodily injury, marriage, cohabitation as class A misdemeanor. How do you plead, Mr. Lopez? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, state offers State's Exhibit number 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objections.
Mr. Lopez, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty of assault, bodily injury, marriage, or cohabitation. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
The only thing that we'd ask, Judge, is he does hope to impress you when you get the 80/20 state jail report. and hopes for the full 20% credit.
Thank you. All right, then the court will sentence you to 73 days in the Bexar County Jail, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. This will run concurrent with cause number 2019 CR 3512, showing what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Lopez, good luck to you. We'll go off the record. Mr. Lopez, if you love somebody, you're supposed to treat them as though you love them.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. I've been married to my wife 24 years.
Yeah, well,
I got 4
now
kids.
show respect for that relationship and show respect for her. If you can't do that, then maybe you shouldn't be in that relationship. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Good luck. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. You're excused, and Brenda, you can go off record, and you are excused for lunch.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So
Mr.
I'm done.
Hitchens, you're done, Mr. Lopez.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a good day.
Thank you, you too. Mr. Hitchens?
Yes, Your Honor. I've conveyed the offer to by Joe Ray Garcia to my client, Mr. Vara. He's accepted the offer. And it's just a matter of how quick the paperwork can get done.
All right, well, we'll do the paperwork with you, but the court reporter is taking a break, so you all can finish your paperwork, and we'll come back after lunch to take that up.
Okay. Joe Ray, you think you can start getting it together? It's the 8 to do.